Greetings from Uganda Key Populations Consortium, UKPC. The international community observes the International Human Rights Day every year on the 10th of December. It commemorates the day in 1948, the United General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. As we celebrate this important day in Uganda, we applaud all efforts by civil society, individual human rights defenders, individual Ugandans and non-Ugandans, and the state of Uganda in advancing, protecting and respecting human rights. We applaud the work of international partners who enable the grassroots human rights work done by the civil society organizations through the technical support they provide over the years. Above all, we appreciate the UN for thinking seriously about putting in place the international human rights system so that the global community of individuals can enjoy their already inherent human rights under the protection of this system. We particularly want to thank the Human Rights Council at its 49th session in July 2022 for renewing the mandate of the independent expert on the protection against violence and discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. And we call upon Ugandan government to cooperate with this UN mechanism when called upon. We, however, still have some significant human rights challenges in our country. Today, as we commemorate the 2022 International Human Rights Day, amid some of the most stringent SRHR and LGBT and sex work civil society targeting restricted spaces in all the years of doing human rights work for key populations in Uganda. Since the year began, we have had 13 organizations raided by the police and other unknown state operatives. We also had smug activities halted by the NGO Bureau, and a number of organizations have been broken into under unclear circumstances. Their computers, servers, and files taken. A suspicious occurrence. In addition, we have had 28 activists arbitrarily arrested with no explicit or falsified charges. The Agenda movement, teaming up with state operatives, has also done severe smear campaigns against the LGBTIQ+ communities and sex work movements, culminating in fear of operating by CSOs working on the human rights of these two marginalized groups. The human rights challenges faced by the LGBTI and sex work activists and individuals who are part of the LGBTI and sex work communities have their rights in the unfavorable legal regime. Uganda's penal code still criminalizes same-sex sexual acts and sex work. There are even efforts to further criminalize the same group through the insistence of passing the Sexual Offences Bill by Parliament, a move that we have consistently insisted will further marginalize the sex workers and LGBTI communities. Having considered the above, we ask for the following. While we thank the government of Uganda, especially the Ministry of Health and the Uganda AIDS Commission for the support in terms of putting in place policies and plans for key population communities to access their right to health, we encourage other government ministries, departments and agencies such as the police to do more to protect and promote and respect the rights of sex workers and the LGBTI community. We call upon the Human Rights Commission to publicly call out human rights violations targeted at all human rights defenders, defending the rights of all Ugandans in their diversities. UKPC calls upon the government of Uganda to adhere to Resolution 275 of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. And in line with this resolution, the government should 1. Ensure that human rights defenders work in an enabling environment that is free of stigma, reprisal, or criminal persecution as a result of their human rights protection activities, including the rights of sexual minorities. 2. To end all acts of violence and abuse, whether committed by state or non-state actors, including by enacting and effectively applying appropriate laws prohibiting and punishing all forms of violence, including those targeting persons based on sexual orientation or gender identity. 3. To ensure proper investigation and diligent prosecution of perpetrators and establish judicial procedures responsible to the victims. In conclusion, as Nelson Mandela says, to deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. Thank you.